What's happening, everyone? It's Bigfoot here. Today's Thursday, which means we're reviewing a bunch of gear here on the channel. Last weekend, Memorial Weekend, you know that I was on the Spear Hiking Trail doing a pre-hike to get ready for my unsupported FKT of that trail. I took with me a few pieces of gear, and we're going to be reviewing a few of those today. The first one we are doing is the Black Diamond Ion Headlamp. Well, what drew me to the Black Diamond Ion is the weight. Comes in at a superb 1.9 ounces, which includes the batteries. That's 2 AAAs. Now, I will tell you that there are other ultralight headlamps out there that definitely put the Ion to the test from a weight standpoint. But what I really love about the Ion is the Lumen output that this thing can do. Maximum output is 100 with a minimum of 4, and you can get 38 meters in maximum beam distance with a minimum of 6. Now, in terms of feet, that's about 125 feet to 20 feet. Now, I typically would have this on the second click. There's 3 different clicks when you angle this. First click is right around 15 degrees, second click is about 30 degrees, and the third click is at 45 degrees. I like to have it at about the second click. That seems to work out good for me with where it's positioned on my head and the beam output where I want to see on the trail. It really depends on exactly what you want to see and how far in front of you that you want to see. I could comfortably see about 15 to 20 feet in front of me. Now, that is with everything directly from 3 feet in front of me, so I can see exactly what's happening on the ground, seeing the rocks, the roots, everything that is really critical when you're hiking, especially at night. And I could make things out very clearly at about 20, maybe even 25 feet. Now, I mentioned that this has a maximum beam distance of 38 meters or 125 or so feet, 120 feet. I'm not saying that I couldn't see that far out, but it is just very unclear of any objects that you can make out at that sort of distance. But comfortably, 15 to 20 feet, which for me, that is exactly what I'm looking for a ultralight headlamp. Now, this headlamp is not rechargeable, so you will have to change the batteries as they wear out. Now, the thing that concerns me about the Ion is the burn time that you're going to get out of this thing at the maximum output. Now, when I was hiking at night, I could see very clearly with it at the brightest setting. It's probably going to be unlikely that I'll be hiking at night with this not being on the brightest setting. But the burn time, according to REI specs on this thing, is 6 hours at the highest setting. Anywhere from that, you can get up to 180 hours with the lowest setting, which is 4 lumens, which, you know, you can't hardly see anything. That's like the light from the moon. So why does this concern me? Well, it really depends on what you are using this thing for. If it's a day trip, a weekend trip, works great. A through hike, it really depends on how much hiking you're going to be doing at night. If you intend to be doing a ton of night hiking, some of the hikers out there love to night hike. They might be on the trail for 4 or 5 hours. This is probably not your headlamp because you are going to be changing batteries out all of the time. Now, for me, during my FKT, this is the Black Diamond headlamp that I'm leaning towards. I'm planning on really taking advantage of all the daylight hours, and I really don't want to be hiking at night more than an hour. So with what I'm trying to do, this probably works out really well with the weight, and it's going to be teeter-tottering on that 6-hour burn time that I'll probably have. So the batteries are probably going to be shot when I get done with this, but I think for what I need this for in the limited amount of time, this will work for me. But it really depends on, for you, how much night hiking you're going to do. And, you know, again, if you have it on the highest output, you're going to burn through batteries quite fast. All right, well, let's talk about the different modes that the Black Diamond Ion headlamp has. You're going to use one button to change through all the modes, and that's the button right here on the top. So what I'm going to do is first show you how to lock this device. You're going to want to lock it probably every single time that you get done using it and put it back in your gear, ditty bag, or wherever you're keeping it, because you don't want to actually turn it on and then go through all that burn time. So how you're going to lock this is you are going to turn it on, but hold the button in for 3 seconds, just like this. Now, you see the little red light blinking. That means it's locked right now. So if I try to turn it on, it's locked. I can't do it. Now, to get out of that mode, you will go through the same process. I'm going to hold in for 3 seconds, and once I see the white light, I will release it. Now it's unlocked. All right, let's go through the white light modes here. So when you turn it on here, this is the brightest setting, and it is at 100 lumens right now. This is the setting that I prefer to have when I'm night hiking, and that works for me. And this, of course, is going to be the setting that you'll get a maximum of about 6 hours of burn time. So to change this, what you're going to do is you're going to hold in that mode button, and it's going to dim. Once it gets to the most dim setting, it will blink so you know that it is at the lowest setting. So right now, this is the dimmest setting, which is 4 lumens. Now to go back up, I'm going to hold it back in, and it's going to go all the way to the brightest, and then it will make that blink again so I know it's at the brightest setting. And again, this is at the 100 lumens. All right, let's talk about the red mode setting. To get to it, you are going to use that mode button again. You're just going to hold it in for about 2 seconds, just like this. Then you are in red mode. Same thing with white mode, so you can make it brighter or make it more dim, and it's going to blink at you so you know exactly if it's the brightest or the dimmest setting. Now to go back to the white setting, you'll do the same thing, hold it in for 2 seconds, just like that. And the last mode setting is your strobe mode. So this one is a little complicated to get to. What you're going to do is you're going to turn on your headlamp. After you hit it the first time, you are going to hit your mode button 2 times rapidly, and that will get to your strobe mode, just like this. And the strobe mode can also be done in your red light setting as well, just like this. Alright guys, well that wraps up my review of the Black Diamond Ion Headlamp. I love the weight that this thing comes in at and the lumens that you get with it. Everything that I possibly need for hiking at night and be comfortable with. Again, I'm not really excited about the burn time on this, so I know that I'm going to have to make sure I have fresh batteries to get this started. With 6 hours, that gives me under an hour that I can use this a day with my time that I'm going to be on my through hike. So really, that's the only thing that I dislike about this ion headlamp. Other than that, this is Bigfoot approved. I give it 2 feet up. And that wraps up the review. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more Bigfoot sightings. And remember to always follow Bigfoot.